In 2002, I was appointed to the City Council. Because of the election of Gene Mullen to the Assembly, the then existing council decided to appoint rather than hold an election. I went through the process of application, interview, and much to my surprise and some chagrin, I was appointed to the City Council. As a council member, I feel that I'm able to do more for more people. And that is very, very self-satisfying for me. I derive a great deal of pleasure being able to look around and say, you know, we fixed these roads for this person, we addressed their issues, whatever it was. And we all get these calls from, can you do this about parking? Can you do something about the streets or do something about whatever it is? And when you're able to help that resident or group of neighbors, it's very, very satisfying to do that. And the difference is the level of service that you're able to give back to the community. Well, I've learned about myself that I have a lot more confidence than I did when I first started out. I mean, I didn't even know which way the meeting room was. An aha moment, finally figuring out how our city works, why we do, and what we can and cannot do as an elected body. It was an awakening for me, because I just assumed that, you know, you're an elected official, city council member, you just do whatever you wanted to do. No, that's not the case. There's so many restrictions on what we can and can't do, and you know, we have our legal side, and we have to be very careful what you say and you can't say, and you're always on guard, you know, because you're always on, if you will. You're always out there for people, and so that was an aha moment for me, and because I'm used to just pretty much saying what I feel, and we can't do that all the time. I mean, we're a growing city. We're 65,000 and change. And we're growing, and not only number-wise, but our housing units are growing, our traffic issues are growing, you know, and people are coming in, we're getting new stores, we're getting new communities. The city is changing, and I think I would want people to understand what it takes to address that change. It doesn't come easy for some of our residents. Change is difficult. So for me, it would be to try and work with them to get them to understand that change is inevitable. Most of it's for the good in our case, and some of it maybe not so good, but things have to change, because the more things stay the same, or the more things change, they really kind of stay the same, sort of. But if you don't change, there's no growth. And if there's no growth, your city dies. I consider myself somewhat of a closet artist. I love to work in oil paints. I started with watercolor, dabbling around, just fooling around with some simple child set of, you know, a little tray of watercolor paint and a brush, and fooling around with that, and decided I really kind of like doing this. So I paint to relax. I'm a grandfather of eight children, 7 girls and 1 boy. I am very shy. I think that would probably go instead of the painting thing, but I tend to be very shy by nature. Serving as a council member, you learn quickly to get over that, because if you're shy and reticent about things, that doesn't work so well. But I am really shy person. I'm gregarious at times. I love meeting people, but I'm not going to always be the first one to stand up and stick my hand up to volunteer for things. I kind of just like to sit in the background, and I prefer to fly under the radar, as it were. My parents, of course, brought me up to respect people, regardless of what their station in life is, from the poorest person who has nothing to the people who are way up there and have a lot. Always respect them, and that they ingrained in my brother and I that you're no better than, nobody's really any better than you, but you're no better than anybody else either. So that was a life lesson that I still practice to this day. I just hope people would look at me as an individual who tried very hard to do his best to serve as many people as he could during his time as an elected official.